Hi everybody, how you doing? My name is Bob Harris, I'm editor-in-chief of DC Comics. We're here tonight to talk about everything we do with DC Universe. We have a distinguished panel up here tonight that we will begin introducing. My assistant here, Mr. Matt Idelson, will be my visual aid guide. Go. Okay, the first thing coming up that several gentlemen here are involved in is Flashpoint, which is going to be major event. Love it. Which is going to be the major event for the summer for DC Comics, where everything you know will change in a flash. And this will be, trust me, a pivotal moment in DC history. With ramifications going on for a long time to come. So I'm very excited about this project. It's coming up very soon. I think there were some announcements yesterday about the miniseries involved. So I hope you folks as much as we are looking forward to putting out for you. And now Matt is great. All right, let me just start introducing folks first of all. From Booster Gold, Mr. Dan Jurgens. Okay, a man who needs no introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway. The writer of DC Online Legends, Mr. Ron Wolfman. Started last night. I think it's a Seattle tradition. We have a mysterious benefactor who donates donuts to us. Okay, what we did last night, I don't know who was here last night, with our Q&A. We, the panel here, voted on who had the best questions, the most eloquent way of speaking, and we gave them a donut. So, so when you get up to speak, or just remember, we'll be listening, and we will judge for the donut worthy. All right? There are a lot of donuts, so maybe you'll get 2 donuts if you're really good. So really what we want to do right now is this is our chance to talk. I don't like speaking from the dais, I like actually down there, but what I like to do is actually just look at question and answers. People come up, we have a bunch of people there, major town above DC Universe. This is your chance to ask questions about anything to do with DC, and you get a donut. So what do you want? So, any questions? Oh, we're chilling. Your name, sir?
My name's Jeremy. I've been reading comics since I was about my son's age in the Iron Man. So, first thing was, a lot of us remember when we were younger, we used to get the comics at the spinning rack at 7-Eleven. Does anybody miss the mystery of not knowing what was coming next? Because now with like previews and internet and everything, you got like 6 months ahead, you can know what's coming in the issues, versus what it was when we were kids, where you go and get, okay, great, I got Super Friends, or I got Superman, or Batman, or whatever, and didn't know exactly what was going to come next. Or like if the story ended, you weren't sure what the next story was going to be, and there was that mystery and the fun of waiting for the next issue to come out. Anybody here miss that?
Who misses the mystery of comics? Okay, Mr. Jurgens will answer that.
Oh, I'm supposed to answer that?
Yeah, you can.
I think it's one of those things. I really think it's too bad that we don't have that, and even to the extent that we have, now our customer base generally orders their comics in advance. And I I think what you kind of lose is the fun of walking into a store, seeing all the comics out on the rack, and getting attracted to a comic because of the cover. And yes, it can still happen, but we're much more pre-sold product now than we used to be, and yeah, I miss that.
But on the other hand, like with a favorite TV show, you don't have to read spoilers. You can make a point to avoid it.
True.
So, I don't even know what's happening on the books I work on.
That's so true. By the way, beyond being my visual aid guy, and I also think we're better than Superman comics.
And his monkey.
And really quick, the other one was, months ago when you guys introduced the new Wonder Woman, it was said that it was going to be an alternate timeline, and then it was going to come back around to the old Wonder Woman, but I see you introduced her into continuity with some of the Superman, and talk about bringing her to other things. Is that whole idea of staying on the alternate timeline, is that gone away, or is there still plan to bring it back?
I don't want to give the secret away. We just didn't want the secret again.
I may not like it. I may not like it, but I'm still sucked into it. So,
Actually, I would not ruin the ending, so just keep reading and see where it's going to go. I think you'll be satisfied with where we're going with Wonder Woman.
okay, thank you.
Those are the systems set up in Wonder Woman. We didn't just sort of forget about it or abandon it.
Would you like it done? Would you like it done?
I'll get one for myself.
Yeah, okay. Okay, there you go.
Okay, we have two questions. First, Woods, Love in Action, it's amazing. I think it's been one of the better ones in a while, not to get slightly yesterday. Lex, from what I understand, it's going to shift back to Superman at 900. And is there going to be more Lex, if not in action, then where? Because I'm addicted and you can't just run out.
I think actually Matt might be able to fill this question better than I, because if Lex isn't gone forever at the end of 900, as far as I know. So, Matt,
So not helpful answer.
no,
I'm not sure there'll be any stories left to tell with Lex after this. We'll see. Ever. Aside from that.
you okay.
That's cool. And the question is this is a little vague, so forgive me, but I heard rumblings, speaking of Wonder Woman just now, years ago of like an all-star Wonder Woman type deal, like drawn by Adam Hughes. Yeah. Is that, people remember that? Did that just kind of disappear, or is that Adam Hughes time and we'll kind of over 20 years, or anything you can say? I love the man, but he's slow. What do you say?
I think, I don't know, but I think it's still on Adam's agenda.
Okay.
Adam is actually here in the con, so you can ask him. But it's something definitely we would love to see.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you want to do it?
Hi, I just have a couple quick questions.
Okay.
First off, are we going to be seeing the Demon Etrigan anytime soon?
I'm sorry?
The Demon Etrigan?
Yes, you are.
Oh, like what
Very,
book?
very quick answer. Yes, you are.
Like what book is he going to
I just want to hear that. You know what's coming out. Actually, I'll be honest. I just saw some pages done by David Finch with the Demon, which are phenomenal. So I would say very soon you should be seeing a very cool interpretation of the Demon in a book done by David Finch.
That sounds excellent. Second question. There is a character who has been overlooked for many years in DC Comics, who has been a very integral part of the Justice League. When are we going to get to see a Snapper Car ongoing comic?
Surprise. All right, well, as I tell Matt, we have a Monday morning editorial meeting. We do, and so I guess this Monday we will discuss Snapper Car. Okay. All right, so thank you for giving me a topic. Okay, thank you. Okay, White Club. Okay. No donut? No Snapper. You can get a donut.
Hi, I'm Chuck. I've been reading comics for way too long. No one in this thing. But anyway, I have a comment and a question. The comment is really looking forward to Flashpoint. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't change too much because I'm really digging where DC is right now. You guys are doing a lot of great things. My question has to do with my all-time favorite, the Legion of Superheroes. I'm really liking the fact that you brought the original Legion back. I am curious as to their modified history. The recent annual kind of had a little teaser history of the Legion in the back, and had had some big question marks over certain things. And so I'm kind of wondering, are we, if so when, are we going to get kind of fill in the blanks on their history, what parts that we've seen in the past are part of the continuity anymore?
Only Paul Levitt's from here.
Yes.
I think Paul has major plans structured out for the next 2 years on Legion. So everything you've seen hinted at, I would say you're going to begin seeing answers probably like summer, fall, and going on from there. All right? So important to fall back at the reign of Legion. You know, he's in, the group is in great hands because he loves those characters. So, all right, thank you. Okay. A donuts. There's also donuts over here too.
All right, we have the announcement of Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I'm a huge Bane fan, and I don't want to see him get yanked out of Secret Six, so I think Gail's doing some wonderful things for him. But at some point, I guess I should ask, has there been discussions about perhaps elevating Bane to more of the uber villain he was in the past, with respect to his role in the movie, now in the comics?
I think you'll be seeing some changes with Bane coming up very soon. I think that it's interesting because there were plans in place even before the announcement of the film. So yeah, I think I'm trying to remember when actually it's going to come out. I know it's our cover. That should be very intriguing regarding Bane very, very soon.
Big plans?
There always big plans. Always big plans. All right, thank you. Are they? Was that a don't-worthy question for you?
How's it going? I'm John.
Hey, John.
I've been reading comics for 18 years, and I loved the most recent Detective and Batman annual where Bruce went to France and set up shop with Batman Incorporated and that new character Night Runner. Two quick questions branching out of that. One, where else can we see Batman Incorporated, setting up shop? Because I like how it's like taken out of I like how it's not just Gotham. It's like more of like a it's like seems like it's the whole world's getting in on this. Is there any other countries or places you could let slip without ruining anything?
I can't let slip, but I've seen Grant's plan for the next year and a half of Batman Incorporated. So I think that big change where Bruce Wayne said he's been supporting Batman and setting up a Batman Inc. is going to continue impacting the whole Batman line for a long time to come. So you're going to see a lot of different countries being hit because Batman is on a mission. He knows what he wants to do, and you'll be very surprised what Grant is planning to put him in the coming year.
Cool. And there was a double-page spread, I think, in the Batman annual of the new Night Runner. Any plans on making that a poster image? Because that was probably the most sweet piece of art I've seen in DC in the past 5 years.
Really, the past 5 years?
I mean, seriously, it was awesome. I mean, it was so cool.
I don't think we have any plans, but again,
make a note at one of your meetings.
It was awesome. On Monday, I'll bring this up and we'll discuss it. But right now, there are no plans for that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I can give you a donut.
That'd be wonderful.
We have also questions for everybody here. If you have any, just remember we have a whole group of people here.
I'm gonna lead in on his a little bit. James Grindle. Any chance Green Arrow would come back to Seattle, and is there still plans that Superman's walk ends in Seattle?
Mr. Superman. Okay, well, yeah. We'll take the Superman part.
I think so.
Wow, that was
It seems like some of the cities that were on path.
99% sure he's going to get to Seattle.
That's
I wish
what.
it was in time for this month. That would have been smart. He could have had to do a big circle, but it would have been cool. But I'm 99% sure I'm just really fried right now. But I love you.
and for Green Arrow, honestly, I don't.
He's trapped in Star City for a while, but I just became aware of his 80s and him and Black
Connection,
Panther
yeah.
being here.
No
Seattle
plan.
could use a real hero like
Yeah.
Pioneer Square needs
And you
some
want
help.
Green Arrow? Okay. No plans right now. I mean, we've got some interesting things planned for him coming up in the summer and beyond. That may end up in Seattle, but nothing definite. All right. Okay. This side. Okay. All right.
Hi, I had a question about death. Both publishers have been using a lot of the deaths and resurrections of characters recently as mainly, I think, part as a marketing kind of ploy. very often. But I was wondering how you guys feel about whether maybe it's time to use that device maybe a little more sparingly. It used to be kind of edgy to kill somebody who wasn't a supervillain, but now do you feel maybe it's gotten a little jump the shark-y?
Actually, Dan and I were having this conversation today during lunch about killing off the characters. I think he and I both agree we've kind of overdone it in the business as a whole. I think one of the things with Blackest Night one night, where we really dealt with these characters coming back, the impact of death. One of the things we did at Troy was we sat down and said, let's slow down deaths going on. If death happens, it's got to be a major thing. It's got to be permanent because it just cheapens the whole event. It cheapens all the characters if someone comes back every 6 months. So I think you'll see we're going to slow down that a lot.
What are you listening about, sir?
What? Okay, he was mocking me, so what else is it? Okay.
Whether there's anything more going to be done with the America's Best Comic imprint?
I'm sorry?
The America's Best Comics imprint? Is there anything more like Tom Strong or those Wildstorm kind of characters?
Top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10, yeah, top 10. I think, I wish I could announce it here, he's part of the West Coast. Your question is, we're going to still do it?
Is there going to be more stuff?
I believe there are. I don't have specific any answer to that, but I believe there are plans for more. All right? Not going away, as far as I know. Okay. It's the DVD winner from last night. Okay.
I wanted to know what happened to the Ragman backup story because I was reading that and then it just.
You killed the slides, okay. Ignore the screen.
No. Moving on. Your question, please.
Okay, so I wanted to know what happened to the Ragman backup because I was reading that, but it just suddenly ends. Doesn't just stops.
Keep listening to you.
So I'm getting a conference over here. And the question was Ragman.
Ragman, yeah, the backup story. It just ended. It didn't finish up or anything. It was just done.
You didn't finish the story?
No, you didn't.
That's. There's no one shut. That's. Don't listen to me. You know what? I'm sorry if we didn't finish that story. I can say this. There is an amazing appearance of Ragman coming up in the aforementioned David Finch comic book that I saw the other day, which is just astonishing. But we will discuss on Monday this Ragman thing. And for that, you should probably get 2 donuts for letting me know.
From the original, who is in charge of authorizing that relaunch and change around the original mythos? And is there any checks and balances in case the creator disagrees with it?
No, I'm sorry, which relaunch? I'm sorry.
Any character, when you relaunch, be it Batman, Wonder Woman.
Anyway, in the changes, we say who authorizes that. I mean, that's usually, if you give me specifics, I already have a better answer. I think usually it's a discussion between the editor, the talent, the publisher, what we want to do with the character. I get the sense you're not happy with that.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay.
Some characters. I'm just concerned that if the creator is still alive and you relaunch the character away from the original mythos, if he gets pissed off, no, I'm not. I mean, what are the checks and balances? Can he disagree, or is it not up to him?
I think if the creator is still alive, we always talk to make sure they're okay with what we're doing. Again, it's a very broad-based question, so I don't have any specifics, but we try to be aware of everybody involved in the process. I do think we don't want to change too much too often because then you just lose the consistency of the character. It's kind of like deaths happening all the time. You don't want to do that too often. So I would say, hopefully we won't do that too much more. If that is, concern of yours, because I tend to agree with you.
Well, I mean, so is there checks and balances in case when you launch the character?
Yes, there's always discussion. There's always discussion. Again, I have not experienced this at DC. I've been editor-in-chief only 5 months, but I think in the past, there's always been discussion about any major changes in the character. All right? Okay, thank you. Donut?
Since you said you can ask about anything related to DC, in the episode Wacky Racers of Teen Titans, at the end of the episode, they open up the suitcases it's supposed to hold Robin's most prized possession, and then it cuts to black, and we don't know what it is. What is it?
I'm washing my hands, I promise. Okay.
It's not candy.
Hey, I have a question about using comics as a tool to teach kids how to read and using it to fight literacy in the world. And I was wondering about any of you guys' thoughts on how that can be used, or your thoughts on using it to fight literacy in the world, and how that's like a huge social thing that like helps countries like become more democratic or be like self-sufficient. So I was just wondering about your thoughts on that.
Anyone want to take that question for everybody?
Though not connected with DC in that respect, about 3 years ago I produced 600 to 900 pages of graphic novels in the manga format for readers, and it was done by Harcourt Achieve, the textbook company, and it's under their impact line. So we did something like 15 graphic novels meant for high school age kids who read though at a 3rd grade level. So the stories had to be conceptually a little bit older, but the writing had to be a lot simpler to help them come into the story. So people are doing a lot of educational based comics. It's very hard in the current economic climate to always find them, and because a lot of schools simply do not have the money to purchase them, but they are out there.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is, I really enjoyed the new television show on Cartoon Network, Young Justice. Yes. I was kind of hoping if you guys could answer this or possibly settle it, or if you guys have had this debate amongst yourself. On a recent episode, they had to go to Massachusetts to drop something off, and they put up a map that showed Gotham City, which I looked up an overlay would roughly be about near Connecticut. Is there a map out there that shows where these cities would actually be? And have you guys ever got into an argument that said, why is it that, in Smallville they drive?
We never get any arguments. No arguments ever.
No arguments ever.
Actually, excuse me a second. Matt says there is something being put together, but when I asked Dan and Mark, back in the day, were any maps or anything that said where these cities were?
If I recall correctly, Paul Kupperberg did a book through DC, which was an index to DC Comics that had maps included. We all disagreed on where they could.
Because we never argue, we just disagree.
Yeah, but there is such a product out there.
All right, thank you. Jeff is writing Superboy, and where do you think Smallville is in connection with Metropolis?
And that's why they speak Chinese there too, right?
Go ahead, sir. Okay, go to the left.
Thanks. So with the...
Wait.
Oh, okay.
What's the joke? Okay, sorry, what?
So with Marvel coming out with the Avengers movie, and everybody wants to know if there's going to be a Justice League movie, Christopher Nolan had an interview stating that his Batman would not be anywhere connected to the DC universe because he's his own superhero. With the new Superman movie, where do you guys stand on that? I mean, do you guys think there should be a Justice League movie?
Yes. Short answer, yes, there should be a Justice League movie, definitely. I didn't hear that, I didn't know that was discussed at all with Mr. Nolan, but I would love to see a Justice League movie very soon. I'm looking forward to Superman, I'm looking forward to the next Batman film, I'm looking forward to Green Lantern as well, so I think this is going to be an exciting time coming the next few years with the DC movies. I don't know if that answered the question, it was nice, I thought it was going to be more a Batman question,